Are you plain bored of woodworking? Get excited again with Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit. Fisheye's Sandpaper Kit comes with everything you see here. Just pick your paper, spread the glue, and shake on the sand. Voila! Beautiful handcrafted sandpaper. And if you act now, we'll include candy sprinkles absolutely free. What better way to say I love you than with a gift of sandpaper? Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit is just $19.99 wherever crappy gifts are sold.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Gary. Mrs. Doubtful here. I heard you had John from Unlimited Vertical coming on. Do you think you could fix me up with a date?
Don't think so. Oh, man. Yeah, that was from a couple of weeks ago, or from last week. Anyway, thanks so much, everybody, for coming in. Happy Thanksgiving. Well, let's get right into it. Here's my co-host, Jim Beauchart.
Hi, Gary. Hey, quiet from the cheap seats.
Oh, that must have been Chris Hope and Okie Tom and Drone Rob and Max from Max Air and Matt from Maddie's Drone World, and we got quite a crew in here.
Yeah, and they're all booing me.
Yeah, and it's Thanksgiving. I thought everybody'd be out for dinner somewhere. You know, how are you doing, Jim?
Well, I'm just a little sad. I'm not wearing my stretchy pants and eating a whole lot of turkey like our American buddies.
You're not eating turkey?
I'm not eating turkey.
We're having roast salmonella for dinner.
Yum.
Oh, man. Okay. Hey, we have a special guest today.
We do.
Are you ready?
I am.
Oh.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Jim.
Hi, Kris.
I couldn't find the applause button, and I didn't want to give you the boo. So.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. It's
Thanks
definitely an honor.
Thanks
for joining.
Yeah, especially on this day. You've probably got big plans for Thanksgiving, eh?
Well, I thought this was the perfect day for me to be on because I don't like being in front of people. But it looks like we've got at least 12 people watching.
Yeah.
So now I'm nervous.
No, don't be nervous because, they're mostly a friendly crowd.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
And they're people without a life who don't have a family.
And you're a moderator, so you can block them if you want.
There you go. Yeah. So, Kris, I've been just absolutely stunned by the kind of work that you're doing, the editing and the sound work, and how do you get to there?
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I have been working with audio for the past about 13 years. So audio editing is my background, and mixing bands and basically everything audio after it's been recorded has been what I've been studying and working with for over the past decade. So that has been like my background, and so video is kind of like an afterthought, I guess. I've only been working with video for the past 2 years ish.
Yeah.
And honestly, YouTube tutorials have been really helpful. If I have an idea for a video, I don't know how to do it generally. I just follow a tutorial, and that's the way to do it.
Yeah. Well, it's amazing. You want to fix something in your fridge, you find a guy who's got the same fridge that's already done it,
Yes.
I'm bad for that. I go looking for stuff, but when I do get around to fixing something or making something, after I'm done, I think, geez, that might have made a video.
Yeah.
Like in the winter, because I don't fly, I do a lot of woods. New teeth. I do a lot of woodworking and never think to show off what I've done.
Yeah. And share some knowledge that you might think is just basic.
Yeah. But like the thing over here. This is. I found a piece of cedar with a knot in it, so I made a cat going home.
That's amazing.
But and I made it because it matched. I don't know if I can get to show it. I think I've showed this before. It matches my tattoo.
Oh, okay. Nice.
But you see, that's a family thing. All of my cousins, the oldest in each family, we all have that tattoo.
Oh, okay.
That was something that my grandfather taught us to draw as soon as we were young, and that led me into a graphic arts career. Well, 2 careers ago, but
Nice.
you know, always like to create stuff, right? And
Yeah.
yeah. So that's where that comes from. Now you've been doing some work for Kelly Shores, I understand, too, eh?
Yeah, that's right. As I'm not sure if you know, but last spin up, Kelly, because of COVID, Kelly had spin up, virtually, and he had a competition or contest where he wanted everyone to submit a cover of his song, his Ready Set Drone song,
Yeah.
and I had been subscribed to Kelly and watching him, kind of chatting a little bit, but no one really knew who I was at all. And so that was the first interaction I've ever had with Kelly, when he chose my song as the winner of that contest, even though it turned out I was second place. But yeah, the way the voting worked was whoever's version of his song had the most thumbs up at a certain time was the winner, and he didn't refresh the page, and so mine had the most thumbs up. So anyway, so yeah, after that, I'd met Kelly in person. He gave me an old Mavic 2 Zoom as the consolation prize, because the first place prize was the Mavic Air 2. So I'm grateful that he didn't just say, oh, you didn't win anyway, so you get nothing. So that was really nice of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first time I met Kelly, and then after that he said, do you want to come fly? And he introduced me to Kai, Lone Star UAV, and so we started. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just
I had no
7 feet
idea
tall.
he was so huge until I saw the spin up pictures.
Yes, he is very intimidating in person, for sure. So Kai started having regular meetups, and then Kelly and Kai both let me try FPV for the first time. I'd never flown. I didn't crash, luckily. Especially I didn't crash Kai's quad, which I'm glad about. And eventually, I guess Kelly saw that I was around and willing. He's like, hey, you want to help me film some videos and reviews? And I was always, wanting to learn more about cameras and editing and filming. And so I'm grateful to Kelly for, teaching me what I know. And so, yeah, and that's led to a more ongoing work, I guess, for Ready Set Drone.
Now you're doing FPV now as well, eh?
Yes, yeah. I started originally with my Evo 1, Autel Evo 1 camera drone, and then after Kelly and Kai from Lone Star UAV gave me the taste of FPV, I couldn't go back.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and next thing I knew, I was on Skype calls with Doc Murdoch, and he was teaching me how to build, and it's been nonstop since there.
Your confidence meter is getting a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Over to hold my beer there. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I love when you throw that in a video.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Now you've got a 360 camera too, eh?
That's right. Yeah. Sean Oz had a giveaway on his channel for a 360 camera, and he had everyone like find certain things in a couple of his videos, and
His hashtags.
yeah, exactly, hashtags, and put them in the comments, and anyone who got it right would, be one of the finalists. And I ended up winning, thanks to someone else not being in the United States and they didn't want to pay shipping.
Oh,
So yeah, I ended up with a Insta360 One X, and my first thought was I have to put this on an FPV drone and fly it.
Oh yeah.
But the problem with that is a 360 camera has lenses on each side. There are two lenses, one on each side, and the lenses are not protected. Normally, when you put a GoPro or something on an FPV quad, you have, TPU or some kind of protection for the camera.
yeah.
In this case, if I were to crash, the lenses would be probably damaged. So I
Or
flew it. I've flown.
Yeah.
I've flown it one time. I hit record and I made a video with the 360 camera on an FPV quad, and I haven't flown it since.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen that video. Now, is that difficult to edit to get the frontwards stuff and the backwards stuff and all that, or?
Actually, Insta360 has an app just like for PC or Mac, as
Yeah.
well as mobile. But I use the PC or Mac version, and it's quite simple. You just kind of drag the mouse over wherever you want. You get 360 view, and you add a keyframe, and it just saves whatever you're looking at, basically.
Okay.
And then you hit play, or you drag the cursor to the next spot. You change the point of view, and it makes a gradual transition from where you were before to the next keyframe.
Nice.
So it's actually quite simple.
Yeah. I was looking at the Insta360 X1, the little one. The X1.
It's a 360 Go, maybe.
Yeah.
Is it a Go
Yeah.
one or Go 2? I know they have a Go 1 and a Go 2 out.
Yeah, this one isn't 360 at all.
Okay.
It's the little one that looks like a pill. You could probably swallow it.
Yeah, that's the Insta360 Go.
Yeah. You could do your own endoscopy.
Yeah. Too bad the battery life is only like 20 minutes or something.
Oh, is it that short?
As far as I know.
But it's got a little thing that's got the battery in it.
The battery case. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can film from the case.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you could swallow that though.
No.
That's what she said.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Ray Kelly's joined us. Sudbury Drone has joined us. Who am I missing?
Jackrabbit just jumped.
Oh man. Jackrabbit's joined us. Mudball is back.
He's back.
First round of food is done. Checking while the coffee's brewing. There we go. Next up, dessert frenzy. Oh, good stuff. Yeah. No. Wow. There's 61 comments that I haven't looked at.
Oh my goodness.
See, we get so involved in our own fun that we're not ignoring you, chat people. No, not at all. Scott from
yeah, we have fun.
Yeah,
Kelly's reaction to the toss it in the air and catch it on that video was some super editing.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I saw Kelly's video, his original video, which was like a little spinning disc thing that you just toss it in the air and you catch it, and it's kind of like a drone, I guess. And that review has been getting a lot of views on his channel. And in the comment section, if you look at the comments, everyone's just like typing, toss it in the air and catch it, toss it in the, because he says it like, I don't know, 12 times in the video. So I thought I have to do a remix of that.
Oh yeah.
So I made a remix, and then I asked Kelly if he could not watch it and play it live, and then I could get his reaction live. So that's how that video came to be. And that's how this shirt actually
Yeah.
was
Really odd.
created because in that video, he had said that the product was strangely fun but odd. But I kind of twisted it around to make it so that he was saying it about himself, strangely odd but fun, like himself.
Yeah, and you did a great job of matching the font from his channel too, eh?
Yeah, I found the exact font somehow, but yeah.
Oh man, typesetter's delight, that's for sure. Because I did a lot of type in my day, and it was always difficult matching the type to the mood. You never use Comic Sans for anything. My son's in the military. He got a military award, and the plaque was in Comic Sans. It was
goodness,
unbelievable.
Wow. Well, which worse, Comic Sans or Papyrus?
Papyrus is pretty bad too. Comic Sans, we used to call that. I don't know. You never had it in the States. It was a department store in Canada called Eaton's, and we always called that Eaton's bargain basement font. It was the Comic Sans because that's what they used down in the sales section. When they had the stuff in the basement that they didn't care about. High class store, but the bargain basement used Comic Sans. So
that's funny.
Mudball Creative put Papyrus in the chat there. Yeah,
nice. Yeah,
and Scott at Jackrabbit TV has just finished round 2 of Thanksgiving.
Oh wow. How many stomachs do you have, Scott from Jackrabbit FPV? I met him at Spin Up, actually, Jackrabbit FPV.
Yeah.
I met a lot of people at Spin Up, which was pretty awesome.
Well, it was right in your backyard too.
I know. I had no excuse not to be there.
Yeah, you were working hard.
Yeah. I in a sense, I feel like I missed it because I was kind of trying to figure out the audio problem and stuff like that. But it was an awesome time, especially the day after, which everyone got together and just had a good time flying.
That's good. Yeah. That's probably the best. It's the spin down was probably the better part of it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I saw Ray Kelly flying his new Mavic 3. So but he's nervous with the Mavic 3. I can tell.
Oh, that was an awesome moment when he won that drone. When I think it was Elijah pulled out his name and read Ray Kelly. Kelly Shore's face was just like surprised and just like really happy that he won. So that was just a great time.
Yeah, Ray was a guest on here. He's a great supporter of everybody's channel. So it's
and a hell of a nice guy.
Yeah. This guy. Yeah, and he's in the chat.
Yes, he's still there.
He gained 10 pounds in that Thanksgiving buffet he was at. That's okay. It'll be gone tomorrow.
So, Kris, in your video, the power loop failed. Have you mastered the power loop yet?
I haven't mastered it, but I've done a couple of decent power loops. Actually, in the video, I did a video for Ready Set Drone where this quad was being reviewed. I helped Kelly review this. This is the Baby Hawk 2. In that video, I did a power loop, one power loop, over the pavilion actually, where spin down was happening. Well, this was prior to the event, but the same area. So I did one good power loop, but I have not mastered it yet because it's very easy to kind of get disoriented and just kind of full throttle into the ground, because you're upside down. You have to kind of time everything right, have the camera angle just right, and every quad is different, so you have to just practice with each individual quad, and I haven't mastered that. Definitely not.
Yeah, it takes some hitting those gaps and stuff takes some fortitude, let me put it that way.
Yeah,
I have a commercial project that I'm working on, and I do every couple of weeks I do a complete circle of the place, showing the progress of the construction. And the last time I was there, well, not yesterday, but the time before that, I noticed they hadn't had the garage doors on the warehouse or on the greenhouse.
Ooh.
So I lined up the Air 2S, and yeah, it's a little easier with the camera drone lining it up. But I lined it up and I just pinned it and went right straight through the whole length of the place. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably 300 feet or so.
Wow.
You know?
Was it a metal building or not?
Yeah.
So were you worried about losing signal?
No roof.
No. Well,
gotcha.
Most of it's a greenhouse. So
Okay.
they're putting the glass in this week. So
I see. Okay.
This week I was kind of focusing. I did my usual circuit and then did a little orbit of the guys installing the glass, you know.
Do you use
just get little highlights, you know.
Yeah. So you're doing manual orbits. You're not doing like waypoints so that you can kind of match the video and kind of seamlessly transition between before.
What I do is I go to 20 meters high.
Okay.
Every time, frame the shot,
Okay.
and then go sideways. And then when I get to the corner, I focus on the corner and do an orbit around the corner. And then as it lines up, you know, you've got your grid lines. When the grid lines line up with the bottom of the wall, then I just let it go and go sideways again, right?
Okay.
So I'm getting similar shots every time.
Right. Yeah.
And I'll be able to blend them together. You know, I'll use like a Ken Burns effect or something to get them to go together. But it's a long process. And, you know, I mean, I've been working. When did I start this? You just check my book. I've done 13 flights since late May. So I'm 6 months into it. Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah, 6
Time to
months.
film again.
Yeah, and they're supposed to be planting by the 1st of December, and I tell you, they haven't got a lot of roof on yet.
Oh man.
You know,
They gotta heat it.
but it's a really complex project because they're going to generate their own electricity there with a big, huge diesel generator thing, and they've got this 50-foot water tower that waters all the plants, and you know, wells to dig and all that stuff. And
wow.
So it's a multi-million-dollar project, and I wish them all the luck. You know, they want me to document it, so here we go.
That's great.
Yeah,
hey,
and it's close enough that I can do it from the backyard. You know, it's only 3/4 of a kilometer. It's less than a kilometer away. So I wasn't able to do it when I first started this job. I wasn't able to do it with the original Mavic Air because I didn't have the range on the Wi-Fi transmission. But OcuSync 2, I can fly to Jim's house almost.
Well,
I'll shoot it down.
hey Gary, you mentioned that you said flying with a camera drone through gaps is easier to line up. I actually feel the opposite way. I haven't flown through any gaps with my camera drone. With my bigger camera drones. Just because I feel like there's too much that could go wrong. I don't feel in control of it. You know, like if I can't make minor corrections, especially if I'm going, you know, at a decent speed. But I guess those gaps weren't too small that you weren't uncomfortable with.
I would say, you know, yeah, the gap was probably 10 or 15 feet.
Okay.
You know,
that's probably the limit for me.
And basically what I'm doing is I'm flying at FPV at that point because I'm just looking at the screen, making little minor corrections, little minor yaw corrections to, you know, to stay on track, you know.
Okay.
And if you put it in cinematic mode, those little minor yaw corrections don't really show up as jerky movements.
That's a good tip.
In a video, right? But you got to be prepared to make the movement. You know. But I've gone under bridges, like a 4-lane concrete bridge over a river, and I've gone underneath and had the drone go into ADI mode because it lost all the satellites.
Oh wow.
And that makes your heart skip a beat because the little thing says ADI mode, and you just go push the stick forward and get out of here. Right?
Oh. Did you, prior to that flight, did you set your return to home to just hover instead of, or like lost link? I'm sorry. Did you set your lost link to hover rather than return home?
No.
Okay.
So it would go straight up into the top of the bridge.
Yeah.
Except now with the Air 2S, it wouldn't go up and hit the bridge because it's got the upward sensors. So,
Okay.
So it's pretty good that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Ron Lockwood from RL Photography has just joined us.
And
D&D aerial views. And who else? What? Oh, and Bill.
D&D.
Yeah, and Bill from Newfound Drone Productions is in the chat now too. So, wow, so we're doing great here tonight.
So, Kris, speaking about multi-million-dollar projects, the Weekly Beauchart was thinking about possibly a theme song. I'm just wondering, maybe you could fit into your schedule. Oh, come on.
I couldn't resist. It was still there.
I'm not great with ideas, but if someone else has an idea, and like, for example, that song I did with Kelly had all the ideas, and I knew where to take it. If you have a general idea and can kind of like sing some kind of jingle, I can't promise anything, but
Oh yeah,
I'll be down to try at least.
yeah. I'm Mr. Baritone. I'm a great singer. Yeah.
My mother used to say, as a singer, I was going to make a fine sewing machine.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's
I gotta
sweet
think
in
of
me.
something for a 30-second jingle.
Yeah.
A 30-second jingle. Yeah. I'm a big fan of Al Yankovic. That guy is brilliant. The stuff that he comes up with that fits other songs,
Yeah.
My Bologna, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew
Now
what was coming?
Now I remember what I wanted to say, because John at Unlimited Vertical made a comment talking about the power loops. I can't wait for my coffee break every morning so I can watch John's video, Unlimited Vertical. Go to his channel and watch his. He's got power loops that he does, and this morning's was a cute little crash. And then he started making up his own cuss word songs to his song. So he's got some great power loops. Just awesome pilot.
Yeah. He's I like his style too. He always shows his takeoffs and landings in slow motion sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got that he sets his phone down and it kind of fades and blend. Now there's some editing. I can't figure that stuff out.
Yeah, that's unique and signature. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff. He was on last week.
Yep.
We had 2 Canadians in a row, and then we figured for Thanksgiving we'd mess you up.
Yeah.
So no, that's oh, and Thomas O'Sullivan from Thomas Aerials is in the chat now too. So
Hey, Thomas.
we've got an audience largely US, but also Canada and Ireland now. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, that's good. That's good. So how did you get started with drones? Like, you were in music the whole time. What really got you started with the drone thing?
I wish I could give you a good answer. It just kind of happened somehow. I guess I found myself, maybe, I don't know. I honestly don't know how it happened. Next thing I knew, like, I was looking on Amazon for a cheap toy drone. I got a SEMA X5C, but I wish I could remember the thought process or what instigated that decision. Something I must have seen some video or something. where I wanted to try a drone. So I got the SEMA X5C, which is a camera drone, but it doesn't have, an FPV. You can't see what you're doing, basically. You can't see what you're filming.
Yeah.
And then I had that for maybe like a week, and then the wind, I flew it a little too high. The wind took it and then went into a clump of trees, and that was it.
That was the end of that one, eh?
That was the end of that. And I kind of gave up on drones for maybe a year or something.
Yeah.
And then I started watching Ken Heron and, Ready, Set, Drone. Yeah.
And Ken Heron, he's got a show that comes on after this one.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of that show.
I think I'll tune in.
We're the hour before TNL, and we've heard of it too.
Yeah.
And usually Mike from Night Train comes on after us, but he was at a motorcycle event last week, and he's got a family thing tonight, so he won't be on tonight. But what we like to do is we like to warm the audience up for Ken Heron's show, but we give you an hour to get a drink, have a meal, get in your jammies, and fall asleep while you watch Ken. So,
Jim, do you have any teasers for what the weekly bow shot is?
It's a little homage to your holiday down there today. Some Thanksgiving jokes.
Okay.
But I have a favorite, which is, the last joke has a bit of a costume tweak. So there's the cliffhanger right there.
okay.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to have to tune in to watch. This one I haven't seen in advance. A couple of weeks ago, Jim's computer was failing, and he sent me all the clips through the cloud, and I had to edit it all together to send it to Ken. So,
Oh, wow.
so I already knew what was coming up. I just didn't know how Ken was going to edit it. So, but
no, Keith, I wasn't dressed as a turkey.
oh man! Now I saw somebody else in the chat that wasn't there before.
Wow! What did you see that compliment there?
What's that? The funniest comedian from Brampton. Wow, beats that Russell Peters hands down. Well, there you go.
Well, I don't think so, but thank you.
Yeah, Steve Mack. Is Steve Canadian?
I believe.
He must be.
I don't know.
What American would know that Russell Peters from Brampton?
I didn't even know Russell Peters was from Brampton.
Really?
Yeah. So there you go. Do you have many comedians from your area there, Kris?
I don't know who you guys are talking about. I've never heard of these people.
Oh, Russell Peters?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, Google him when we're done. He is pretty funny
All right.
in an East Indian kind of way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stevie Mack's in Oakville.
Steve's at Oakville. Okay.
Kris, do you know where Oakville is?
Negative.
Do you know where Toronto is?
Yes.
I'm 10 minutes from Toronto.
Okay.
And Oakville's halfway between Argo Town and Tiger Town. And he's going, what the hell is Tiger Town?
Jesus, what the hell
I'm
is
lost.
Argo? You've got the NFL. We've got the CFL, Canadian Football League.
Okay.
And,
Wait, what
Gary
kind of football is it, though? Is it like soccer type football?
No, it's football like your football, but only it's tougher because you only get 3 downs to get 10 yards. You guys get an extra down.
And we have bigger balls.
That's what she said.
Well, the ball's a little
goodness.
bigger. It's a little bigger than the American football, but it's the same shape. It kind of looks like a football, but just a little bigger. And the field from goal line to goal line is 110 yards. So we don't have we've got 2 50-yard lines that are 5 yards on either side of the center line. So the 55-yard line is the center line. So,
Wow.
Thomas Ariel says, "Don't worry, Kris, he's lost too."
Okay.
and here's the real good one. We put the goalpost on the goal line, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks ago we were there, and easy toss in for a touchdown. The guy hits the goalpost. and it just dropped. It's like,
Oh
oh
man.
yeah, and that quarterback has done that twice in clutch situations. He just ping right off the post.
And John from Unlimited Vertical says, and our cheerleaders wear parkas.
Well, I went to a game in Toronto 2 weeks ago, and they bring out the cheer team, right? It's 5 girls and a guy. And
I saw that once.
Oh man, my son said that they couldn't put together a full cheer team because they couldn't find more than 5 fit women in Toronto. He didn't say they were good looking. He just said they had to be fit. So yeah, no, it's there's a big rivalry between the 2 football teams that are an hour apart, right?
Mm.
And I'm a season ticket holder of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and a lot of Canadian football players end up in the NFL. Doug Flutie, Tracy Ham. There's some of the not huge names, but big names.
Doug Flutie.
Yeah, I mentioned Doug Flutie.
Okay, maybe I should watch your show.
Well, you can always watch the replay, Jim. You could sleep through this one and then just catch the replay.
Well, I learned something. I didn't realize. I'm not really a sports person, so I didn't realize there was a variation of football that was different in Canada. So
yeah. Well, we have. You see, a whole lot of things are different in Canada. You have Thanksgiving in November.
Yours is in October, right?
Because we have nothing to be thankful for in November. It's dark. It's wet. It's snowing.
Okay.
Actually, that's not true.
All the crops have been in for a month.
Remembrance Day is when we're thankful.
Yes. I have to. I have to acknowledge that one for sure. What's going on here? How come I can't put that up there? Oh, stop! Oh.
See, Gary's musically inclined too, Kris.
Musically inclined, Oh.
There you go.
I found sound effects in my what you call that thing?
Computer?
Yeah. It's right there. It's right there on my confuser. Right next. It's on the confuser next to the book face.
Oh goodness.
iMovie, my movie editor has sound effects. That's what I'm trying to say. Wow. John's getting strange looks from his wife, wondering why he's laughing. Gee. But you know what? This is what we're here for. We're just here to have fun.
Yeah.
So after you got your toy drone turfed, what was your first serious drone?
It was the DJI Spark. I found one on. I don't know if you have Craigslist in Canada, but I found one. Okay, yeah, I used one, and I bought it in January of 2019. So that was like my first real drone, as I consider a real drone. And then a few months later, I sold that and found a Mavic 1 on Craigslist. So I kind of upgraded, and then the Autel Evo 1 had a sale, and I was like, I need to upgrade to that. So I sold the Mavic for actually a $50 profit. So
wow.
I'm kind of glad about that. Then I used that money to invest in the Evo 1, which I still have. So
that's
do
good.
you have, or are you inspiring to be a Part 107 owner?
I actually, as soon as I got my Evo, I studied and got my Part 107 certificate. I actually just renewed it a few months ago, and I was glad that the FAA made it free and online to renew,
Wow.
Yeah.
which is unheard of for the government to make something easier and cost less than it used to, or free.
We do all of ours up here online, but
Okay.
they don't make it that easy, because in order to get the advanced, you have to hire a flight reviewer and actually fly for the guy.
It kind of makes sense, though.
You know, it's like doing a driving test in the air.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little different than your process, but with a basic license here, and it's a $10 test online, you can fly commercially. You know,
Okay.
The only thing the advanced lets you do is fly closer to people and fly closer to the airport, and fly at the airport, or sort of do what you like.
So do you have a way of like contacting the airport that's easy if you have the advanced certificate?
Yeah, I just phone them and say I'm going to be flying here.
Okay.
And they've got a directive that they're not allowed to deny you.
Wow.
Right? They have to let you fly. They don't own the airspace. They own the airport.
Okay. Huh.
Right? So you're good to go.
I wish we could combine the best parts of your system and our system, because that sounds like a good thing. And also having to show that you're a competent and responsible pilot before getting your license. That sounds like a good idea as well.
Yeah, it's not bad. Well, you can't have somebody cheat for you. They want to see photo ID to make sure that's you when you're flying.
Yeah.
And when I did my flight review, I hired a guy to come here. So I did it from my yard. So I knew the area. I had home field advantage, right?
Right.
And me and another guy, we got together and hired this guy, and the other guy came down a week before and flew it. And, so the guy says, okay, describe the area that we're flying in. I said, well, there's a silo over there that's 65 feet high. And that electric pole there is 70 feet. And the tree over there is 85 feet. He goes, okay, yeah, we know what. And I said, it's 9.5 kilometers to the airport over that way. And here's their phone number. And he goes, okay, yeah, okay. Let's see you take off. And I had to take off, and he made me fly. And he said, now stop right there. And I stopped, and he said, how far away do you think you are? Don't look at the screen. How far away? And I went, 200 meters. And he says, now look and tell me how far you are. It says 350. He says, yeah, well, that's close enough.
He seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he was. Well, my wife went and bought donuts. So we had donuts and coffee on the table for him. And, so we bought him. He was easy to buy. But, he saw that we had a first aid kit, a fire extinguisher. We had cones out for the, you had to have all the Transport Canada required things, and you had to run through checklists, and we had all the checklists all prepared. And
your safety vest and hard hat.
I didn't wear a safety vest or a hard hat, but I got questioned yesterday when I was flying. When I pulled into the construction site, the guy came out and he says, Gary, he says, make sure you got your hard hat and your high vis safety vest. I said, did you get stopped by the Ministry of Labor? And he went, oh yeah. I guess some guys were cheating it, and so they had to make sure you were all, I didn't have safety boots though, but I never got that close to the actual construction. It's interesting. And then of course I always carry with me where is it? It's here in my drone bag. I got my Transport Canada license information, and on the back I have my FAA trust certificate.
Nice.
Like you don't need the trust certificate, but you know what? FAA looks a lot more official than Transport Canada. looks like some kind of a cartoon, but
Well, so that means you can legally fly in the U.S. then, right? As a hobbyist?
yeah,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I
Now,
guess.
Americans can't fly at all. You have to be a citizen or a permanent resident
Wow.
to fly in Canada. So they've killed the drone tourism business up here. Now, what you can do, Kris, you come up to Canada, you fly with Jim and I. We can be your pilot in command while you run the sticks.
I was just about to ask. So that's legal. Okay.
Yeah. So, but unlike you, we don't have a visual. Like I liked your visual observer hiding behind the tree there. That was.
Yeah. He gets distracted sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah,
Is he on the payroll?
I guess I don't pay him enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was excellent. That's some fine editing you're doing on that stuff. Now, how do you do that? Is that all just green screen and?
So for that video, that's a series of 2 videos called something like How I Won an Insta360 1X, and then I guess FPV, flying with it on FPV quad. So what I did for the clone shots was I set up the camera on a tripod, and I did it on a day that was not partly cloudy, or I did it on a day where the light wouldn't change that much because it was outdoors.
Yeah.
And I planned out what I was going to do, obviously, beforehand, and the sequence involves putting a drone down, or I think I put the camera down, the Insta360 down, and then my clone picks it up. So for that part, I did the first shot where I put the camera down. I changed my shirt and then kept the camera rolling and did not move it, and came from the other side and replayed the audio from the first take so that I had the timing right. And my clone picked up the camera, which was in the exact same spot. And in the video editor, I did some careful masking, which is kind of like hiding parts of the video.
Yeah.
And then I kind of moved the mask over to reveal the other video, the other shot, when my clone picks up the camera.
So was that a lot of work on the computer?
So that actually wasn't a lot of work. I actually had to do that twice, because the first time the lighting changed and I moved the camera a little bit, apparently. So I just had to line up the 2 shots, and in DaVinci Resolve, I had to look up a tutorial, how to do masking in DaVinci. But it's basically just using creating a polygon, several points, and animating that polygon over time with keyframes. So no green screen involved, just simply moving the mask over to reveal whatever I wanted to reveal at the right moment.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, the most complicated part was getting it right in the camera.
Yeah. I have a hard enough time just editing still pictures,
Yeah.
I've done a lot of that, back in the day I did stuff for Staples and Home Depot and A&P, back when A&P, is that still a thing in the States? The grocery store?
I've never heard of it, but it might be regional.
Yeah, it's Metro up here now. Okay. It was the great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company.
Oh, wow.
Well, there are so many companies that have changed so much over time. Like Shell Oil used to be an importer of shells, like seashells.
What would they do with them?
For decoration or bone or whatever.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe there's some kind of abrasive they ground them up for, or whatever it was. But Shell Oil originally started out making shells. And Sharp Electronics, they were a pencil company. They were the Sharp Pencil Company.
That makes sense. So,
but now you'll buy, like Sharp Electronics and TVs and confusers and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
You
I
know?
hear you.
Yeah, but it's all evolutionary, right? Like everything evolves in its own time, So
Yeah.
yeah. But geez, we're coming up to the hour almost. Anything you need to give us, Jim, in the way of news? What's going on?
No, just go subscribe to Sunrise Water Media channel to catch his awesome editing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And somebody else, I don't know if he's in the chat. No, he's not. Barry from where's Barry?
Any journalist.
Any Dronalist hit 900 subscribers. This guy's been at it for just a few months,
Yeah, that's incredible.
and he nailed 900.
We had him on when he was at 700, so he's jumped 200 in a couple of weeks.
200 in a couple of weeks. Unbelievable, And how much have you gone up, Jim?
I'm up to.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Jim, don't forget, I was your 3rd subscriber.
Yes, you were one of my early fans. Thank you very much. I will never forget.
Oh man, 3rd subscriber. Well, he's got 90. You got what? 96 now?
96.
Well, 4 more. If
Cool.
you're in the chat and you're not subscribed to Jim Beauchart, we need 4 subscribers to hit 100.
And now that my computer's fixed, I promise I will get more episodes out there for the weekly Beauchart Insight.
There you go.
The blooper reel.
Yeah, those edits are really, really funny, Jim.
Thanks.
Like the clips that you add from TV shows and other, that must take ages to find and come through.
You're proficient at you're doing your tricks. You think what I'm doing is difficult? Trust me, it's not. It's like 10, 15 minutes.
Wow. Well, it's always fun to watch, and
I got a big kick out of making them, and I chuckle myself doing it.
Well, you know what? You gotta play to your own strengths, right? I do farm videos and don't leave the house.
And you do them really well, honestly, like really professional.
Well, here's the thing. I do everything manually. I can't figure out all the confuser stuff. I just let's get this thing to fly. And you just do what you can do, right?
Yeah.
And I did the commercial job the other day, and I brought it home and I put it in the computer and I dragged it onto the desktop, and it said, "You don't have enough storage space." I said, "Really? The hard drive is full?" So I had to take all that footage, and you don't realize how much space 4K video takes, right? So,
yeah, there's my external. That's 4 terabyte.
Yeah, I've got two, one. Oh, here's the teeth again. I've got 2 1 terabyte hard drives. One's backups and the other one's storage. So I dragged all my Mavic Air 2 files over there, and it took 3 hours to copy them. I couldn't believe how big those files were, right?
Yeah.
And it was all hardwired, and then SSD from one SSD to another SSD still took 3 hours. It's like, whoa, this is wicked. But then I was able to get it done, and then edit the cornfield and blah blah blah. Now I'm putting all my stuff over on the other hard drive and leaving the computer clean. So
Runs a lot faster.
But you must have a whole lot of computer power there, Kris, to do all of the stuff that you're doing with music. And
honestly, the music I do on a Windows laptop that I bought 7 years ago. It's got 8 gigs of RAM. It can't edit video at all. It can barely do audio, but that's my main audio computer.
wow.
And I have this computer, which I'm using right now. It's a MacBook Pro 2017. That has 16 gigs of RAM, which was an upgrade for me. But I can't edit 4K very well, and it's reaching its limit. When I was listening to Kai from Lone Star UAV talk about his new PC build with 64 gigs of RAM. I was like, ooh, that sounds like a dream computer.
Oh, wow.
Because I have to use proxies sometimes, when editing 4K, like proxy files where you reduce the resolution and the quality in order to get the edit done.
Yeah. I think the Mac does that automatically, doesn't it?
It depends on the software.
Yeah. I use iMovie. I use the free stuff, right? And I just drag all the stuff down in there and,
I've been using DaVinci Resolve, the free version, and you can choose to reduce the resolution. Sometimes that works, but sometimes you just have to manually make proxy files.
Yeah. So anyway.
But yeah.
All right. Anything else you got there? We're about to call it a night and go watch Ken Heron in an hour.
Yep. Thanks so much for being on, Kris. It's been a pleasure to get more insight into you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me on, Jim and Gary. I hope that one day you'll both get hooked on FPV and go down that rabbit hole.
I can't even watch FPV.
Oh, no.
I get busy watching it. I am so old. There's a hat up there that says old as dirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. No, my first flight was with Icarus. He had the wax wings and flew too close to the sun. I was his visual observer.
You watched him all the way falling down to the rocks, right?
Close to the sun there, Icky. Oh, man. Anyway, thanks so much. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you all for being here. And it's 7 o'clock. There we go. It just said it's 7 o'clock. Thank you all for being here and for showing your support. Get out there, support Kris and Jim. And I don't need any more subscribers. I'm getting too close to 1,000 again. So subscribe or don't, whatever, as long as if it's fun for you and you've had some fun, subscribe. If not, keep it to yourself. And anyway, thanks again, guys. Kris, stick around. We usually have a little chat afterwards, and
okay.
And we'll try and see if we can sort this outro thing out. Oh man, here's the old man trying to figure out what's going on next. All right, here we go.
Are you plain bored of woodworking? Get excited again with Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit. Fisheye's Sandpaper Kit comes with everything you see here. Just pick your paper, spread the glue, and shake on the sand. Voila! Beautiful handcrafted sandpaper. And if you act now, we'll include candy sprinkles absolutely free. What better way to say I love you than with a gift of sandpaper? Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit is just $19.99 wherever crappy gifts are sold.
Well, a special thanks to everybody that stuck around to the end of the show of the hour before TNL, all 2,417 of you.